if we are to say married, divorced and remarried Catholics can freely receive communion, what happens to the man who is not a Catholic, but he's married to a Catholic, and then he takes another wife in the polygamous site or setup, and he wants to, on occasion, wants to come and receive communion? On what basis are you going to refuse him? Jesus didn't say, I want the easiest cross to carry. He took what was coming. And I think that in many instances, married people who find themselves in impossible situations, second married people, may be just called to do that, to carry the cross with Christ. Do we say that you don't have to carry the cross? Because the world says, no, the soft option is always the easier one. And ultimately, is it the easier one? How do you get your children to marry then if you don't get married? Or if you are married, how do you get your children, let me put it another way, get your children to make a lifelong commitment if you have failed to do it yourself? So I think this is where we've got to look at all those kinds of issues as well. But for us in Africa, I think the situation is going to be, look, if people in Europe who have remarried, and as somebody put it today, they are engaged in successive polygamy, why can't a simultaneous polygamist have the same advantages? After all, in his culture, it's quite acceptable. For him, it's natural, and therefore, the natural law theory is that if something is natural, it's going to be good. There's going to be some goodness in it. So he's no conscience, no conflict of conscience about having accepting Christ and living polygamy at the same time. How are we going to deal with those? And I think that's what I meant by we are going to have to make some hard choices, I think.